Hello. We are talking today about chemistry versus standards. How can you keep a clear head and stay connected to your standards and uphold your standards when there's really good chemistry and all the hormones are rushing and you just want to follow the chemistry that's there. Hello, my love. Great to see some of you hopping on. So yeah, chemistry versus standards is what we're talking about today. This was an anonymous question that was asked. Thank you so much to the question asker, I think is the word that I'm looking for there. And the question was, how do we keep a clear head and make good decisions when the chemistry is really good in a new connection? And this is something that I love. When this question came through, I was like, hell yes, we're talking about this because I love this subject. And there's actually a post that I'm going to put out at some point about chemistry versus standards because it's a really juicy topic. So if you have any questions about this, put them in the comments right now and I will incorporate your questions as we go. But ultimately, yeah, let's look at this scenario, right? So this typically happens when you meet somebody in person. This is one of the main reasons I advocate online dating, not in-person dating for meeting your ideal man, because of the chemistry. So imagine you are, in some social setting, friends party, and you get chatting to a guy and he's really good looking, he's got the exact sort of look that just makes you go, oh God, I'm in trouble. And, you get chatting and he's charismatic and yeah, there's all the beautiful chemistry signs. But your intuition is going, don't do it. We've dated men like this before. This is the exact type of men we always attract, and it doesn't work out. They are X, Y, and Z, whatever, your typical problematic pattern is that comes up for you in your relationship. And you're in this really difficult situation of do I trust my intuition or do I go with the chemistry? And another example that I'm also going to incorporate into this because it's totally relevant is you've been dating somebody, 4 weeks, something like that. And the sex is amazing. He's a great kisser. When you're with him, you just feel alive. The chemistry's in your body. You're like, oh my God, I just want to, make babies. and he's, I don't know, let's say you know that you hate being around smokers. You hate being around smokers. He's a smoker. You want to settle down and have a family, and he's already made it clear he's not really looking for that. Maybe he doesn't want kids. Maybe he's already been there, done it, definitely doesn't want to do it again. Maybe he's just open and has said, I'm not really looking for anything serious. But you're in this position where you're like, oh my God, the chemistry's amazing, the sex is amazing. Everything in your body's like, I want to be with this person. What do you do? Right? How do you handle these situations? How do you stay true to your standards, what you know you're worth, what you know you deeply desire and long for, and what is ultimately going to make you happy long-term versus immediate gratification of the chemistry of now? So if you have any questions, let me know. Just drop them in the chat. I'm still recovering from a bit of a throat infection, hence the drinking loads of water. I've got some annoying messages. Hang on, let me just see if I can No, I don't seem to be able to get rid of those. Okay, fine, we'll deal with it. So, what do we do in these situations? So, as I say, I'm a strong advocate for online dating because what I'm about to describe is a hell of a lot easier if you do it with distance, with connection, but not in-person connection. Because let me talk first of all about hormones, right? You may not realize what an extreme influence your hormones are having, men and women. This is all genders. But basically, we are primarily animals, right? We have a consciousness, we have a conscious mind, but body-wise, genetically-wise, reproduction-wise, we're animals. And we are wired to have sex and reproduce, like to keep the species alive, right? That is what our fundamental deep wiring is. And our hormones are completely and utterly geared up to ensure the survival of the species. Now, all you have to do is look around and realize that we're not about to, be wiped off the planet. Well, there's reasons, but we're not about to, go extinct. But our hormones don't know that, unfortunately. The hormones don't look around and go, oh God, we're like billions and billions. They're just like reproduce. So what happens is this. When you meet someone who is attractive to you, your hormones actually send out messages in your body to make you like blind to red flags. This is why you'll often get months or even years into a relationship and you'll suddenly realize you missed a major, major red flag. And you're like, how the hell did I not see that? And this is why. It's the hormones. It's the chemistry. So the chemistry and the hormones totally set up to basically, let me just put my glass down, to do like this, tunnel vision. The only thing I can see is the person in front of me. Suddenly, everybody else becomes unattractive, less attractive. Like suddenly your hormones are geared to switch off your attraction to everybody else and focus your attraction solely on this person and make you blind to any red flags or make you blind to any of like their negative qualities or their negative traits or anything that would cause you to not connect with the person in front of you. Your hormones are set up to ensure that you are going to focus on this person in front of you and give your everything to them, give your heart, give your body, everything, because the hormones want you to reproduce and create babies to ensure the survival of the human race. So the hormones are not working in your favor. They do not work in your favor when you're trying to uphold your standards around the type of person you want to be in relationship with. Hello to everybody who's joining, by the way. So how do we navigate this? How do we navigate chemistry versus standards? Given that the chemistry is totally set up to make standards really, really hard to uphold in the beginning of a relationship. And yet, it's actually in the beginning of the relationship that you must uphold them, because if you wait until months and months down the line, you've got all the emotional attachment, you've already fallen in love, you've already got all of this hormonal chemistry going on. When 6 months down the line, you're like, I don't actually think this person meets my standards. They do X, which I didn't want. They do this, which I didn't want. They don't have this, which I do want, and all the things. But by that point, you're already really emotionally invested. You've already got 6 or 9 months or whatever under your belt of building a relationship with this person. And it's an investment of your time and your energy and your emotions. And you're like, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to sacrifice what I have now for some potential future that I don't actually know if it exists or not. So don't wait. Don't wait to find out whether or not someone meets your standards much, much further down the line. Check it out in the beginning. In the first 6 to 8 weeks, you want to be focused completely on whether or not the person that you're dating meets your standards. Hi Nora, I see that you want to come on. Drop me a message. Let me know what your question is first. Let me know what it is that you want to discuss, and then I'll decide whether or not I want to have you come on. Thank you for your interest. So, doing this in the beginning, upholding your standards in the beginning. So how do we do this? So first of all, you've got to be really, really clear what your standards are, what your ideal person is. And this goes beyond deal breakers, right? Deal breakers are what you don't want. Desires are what you do want. And that is a really, really important distinction. Don't focus on the deal breakers. Of course, know what they are, but you want to go so much deeper than just deal breakers. You want to know, what do I desire in a partner? How do I want them to talk to me? How do I want them to make love to me? How do I want them to be with me in public? How do I want them to communicate with me when we're separate and not together? How do I want them to work through challenging discussions? Sorry, I lost my word there. Difficult conversations, I think, is what I was trying to find the words for. How do you want them to navigate challenges and difficulties with you? How do you want them to hold your emotions? You know, if you're feeling sad or scared or angry or hurt, how do you want that person to show up for you? And if you don't already know what your love languages are, go find the love language survey. I think it's something like 5lovelanguages.com or something like that. And take the test to find out, so that you know for yourself what really matters to you in terms of feeling loved. So are you someone who really needs touch? You know, physical touch, holding hands, hugs, you know, somebody's hand just on your knee whilst you're sat in the cinema or something like that. Are you someone that needs words of affirmations, you know, like lots of positive reinforcement with the words? Are you someone who needs quality time? Do you need to do things together, be in the same room together? Are you someone that really vibes off gifts? Do you want to be showered in gifts? Do you love to give gifts and receive gifts? And I've forgotten what the 5th love language is right now. Quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, touch, and there's one more, which has totally fallen out of my head right now. So know that about yourself and have that as part of your standards, right? You need your partner to have your love language as part of their natural way of expression. If you are a touch person and you're dating somebody who doesn't really do touch, that is never going to work. You are constantly going to feel like you are love-starved. Even if they buy you all the gifts and they tell you all the words and all the things, if your love language is touch and you're not receiving that, you're going to feel starved of affection. So have these in your standards. And even if the chemistry is amazing with somebody in the beginning, you need to value and love yourself enough to have enough self-restraint to step back after spending time with somebody and say, okay, the chemistry is amazing. That big check, you know, checkbox done, chemistry on point, perfect. But there is so much more to a connection than just chemistry. So this is where you then start reflecting on your other things. How are they as a communicator? How are they at holding space for your emotions? Do they speak your love language? You know, are they a touch person or a quality time person or a words or a gifts person or whatever the 5th one is that I've forgotten? Like how do they navigate challenge? Are they somebody who, when they hit a problem, sits down and slumps and sort of gives up and goes, oh well, maybe it's too hard. Maybe I just won't do that. And is that okay for you? Are you on board with that? Because maybe you are. Or are you someone who wants your partner to come up against a challenge and go, I see that challenge and it's in my way And I'm going to do everything I can to remove that obstacle so that I can still reach my goal on the other side. So it's about this, how do people react to adversity? How do they handle difficult conversations? All of this is so, so important. And you want to be checking in with this throughout your every single date that you're on, particularly the first 4 to 6 to 8 dates. This is the most important time when you want to be checking in on this stuff. To find out. And you've got to have enough self-love that you can put in place the self-restraint to keep stepping back from the amazing chemistry. Keep stepping back and going, okay, well, I see this chemistry and that's great, but it's not everything. It's not everything. And there can be a bit of a limiting belief that can catch us out, where we get caught in this scarcity belief of, oh my God, I can't say it now. Oh my God, I'm never going to have chemistry this amazing ever again. Like, I've got to be with this person because I'm only ever going to have chemistry this amazing with this person. And that is not true. I know in the moment it feels like it's true, but I can promise you, if you are willing to do the work, internal work, to attract the quality of person that you want, you will get that chemistry again. And actually, it will be so much healthier, so much richer, more fulfilling, more wholesome, rather than just being like this sort of superficial high that lasts for like 3 months and then the chemistry burns out, and suddenly 6 or 9 months down the line, you're like, I don't even know if I really fancy them anymore. Like that type of chemistry, that type of chemistry is not forever love. Like, you are not going to create your forever relationship with that type of chemistry. That is like the really intense burn, but fizzle out and die type of chemistry. It's also got some trauma attachments, which I will talk about on a different live. Actually, I've got a reel. Check out my reel, something about trauma attachments. I can't remember, but yeah, that's probably got an essence of a trauma attachment to it, which is not healthy. You want to go for the sort of attraction that grows actually more slowly. The sort where you look at them and you're like, yeah, they're all right. They're not bad. They're like, there's something there. I'm curious. I'm not like no, it doesn't work for me. There's like a curiosity that opens, and it's, yeah, okay, they seem nice. I want to know more. And then each date you get to know more, and you're checking, your standards. Like, are they the type of communicator I want? Yes. Do they stay in touch with me in a way that feels good for me when we're separate? Or are they someone who messages like every freaking half an hour and they just like drive you nuts? Or are they someone who only messages once a week and makes you feel really unvalued? Because both of those are probably not the scenario you want. And then I've mentioned a lot of the other things. How are they with difficult conversations, holding your emotions, your love language, all the things? You want to be checking those off each and every date you go on. And if you're getting to a place where you're like, they're not really checking off my list, like, it's just not really, they're not the right love language for me. Like, they don't really communicate in a way that feels good for me. They're a smoker and I don't want a smoker, or whatever the thing is. Excuse me. Sore throat, right? 1 second. Then if you get to the point where you're starting to realize they don't meet your standards, you've got to walk away, and you've got to do it as soon as you really get to that point, because you are wasting your time and their time, and all the time you spend with that person who isn't right for you. Your ideal person energetically can't find you, because your energy is tied up in this connection here, the one that's not right for you. You are focusing all your energy there, and to the rest of the universe, you're like, I'm not available. Energetically, you're sending out the message like, I'm not really available. Like, I'm here, I'm with this person. And you need to sever that relationship. It can be done lovingly. It doesn't have to be like, you're out of my life forever. It can be done very lovingly. But you do need to close that connection very clearly and intentionally and say, I'm not in this anymore. Because then you can take your intention and your energy and your love elsewhere, and the universe recognizes, oh, okay, this person's open again for love, and then your ideal person can find you. But literally, if you're in the wrong connection and you know it, your ideal person might literally be walking past you, and they're going to be like, can't see you, just cannot see you. And it's such a shame. Don't waste your time. Value your time and your energy. Don't stay in connections that aren't right for you. Particularly if you're caught up in this belief of, oh, I'm never going to get something this good again. I promise you, you will, because there's a law of attraction that I use. This is manifestation. I'm going a bit off topic here now, but the law of attraction, or the law of resonance, I think they're actually the same thing, states that like whatever energy you vibrate, you will attract energy of a similar resonance. So in order to attract people of a certain caliber, you just have to vibrate at that same energetic frequency. And this is what I do with my one-to-one clients, particularly in my program, Magnetic Woman Activation, where I support women to clear out the limiting beliefs that are stopping them manifest their ideal man. And the reason why you will always, I can't stress this enough, be able to attract your ideal person is because, one, there isn't just one ideal person out there. There's a range of people that would be really, really excellent match for you. And when you clear out the insecurities and you know how to work with manifestation, which is what I teach my clients, then you can vibrate the frequency that will call in people that meet these standards. And literally you just start meeting them everywhere. Like, you meet them in the coffee shop, you meet them in the library, you meet them at the bus stop, you meet them at a friend's house, they find you somehow randomly on Facebook, and you somehow start up a conversation, completely unexpectedly. And then it turns out that, oh, actually they're moving to your city in 2 weeks, and do you want to meet up? And, literally this is how this stuff works. So if ever you find yourself telling yourself, I'm never going to find somebody this good again, that's a lie. That is a lie. I know it feels like the truth in the moment. I know it feels overwhelming and all-encompassing, and you just don't want to leave. But if you know in your heart this isn't what you want, you've got to love yourself. Like, really, to stay is a complete and utter disservice to yourself. And you're basically telling the universe, I don't actually deserve any better. Like, I'm all right settling. I'm all right settling and just, not really being very happy for the rest of my life, and just tolerating and putting up with. Whereas really what you want to be saying to the universe is, I'm not going to tolerate. I'm not going to put up with. I am not going to settle. I am going to hold my standard. And I'm going to keep envisioning, keep being clear who it is I'm calling in, and I'm going to do the work to clear out my insecurities, my limiting beliefs, and I am going to magnetize this ideal person into my world. So my voice is starting to go, Nora, I'm sorry, my love. I would love to have brought you on, but you haven't messaged me, so I don't know what you wanted to come on about. And yeah, I would need to know that. And we're running out of time now. So maybe send me a DM and we'll get you on next time. There haven't been any questions today. You guys have been quiet, but okay, fair enough. I see you all. Let me give you all a little wave. Hello. Oh, hang on. Hello. I'm waving to you all. Yeah, beautiful. That has been me. I am Natalie Ford, dating coach for women with high standards who want to call in their ideal man and cultivate lasting love. Check out my profile. If you don't already know me, follow me. If there's somebody that you know that really needs this information that I've shared today, tag them, send the live to them, somehow, get them to watch this, share this information with them. And if you've got a question for next time, DM me. And if you want to come and work with me, of course, DM me. Let's chat about the best way I can support you to call in your forever person. Lots of love.